All right. What's up, everybody? All right, let's go ahead and New Ingles. New Ingles. Something I just wanted to try out. Figured I would do a reading. So let's just go ahead. Let's do that in there. How's that look? How are we doing? How are we doing there? How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Yundasura, Kyoro. Let's see. What's in our highest alignment for today? Hope everyone's doing well. Messages for today, tonight. Waking up when it's all over. One, two, four, five, six, pick up six. What do you have? Ooh, creation full effect. All right. So the magician. This one is coming through as accessible resources, right? Things that you have that you can apply to your day-to-day life to create with. So, good thing about this is that this is basically stating that you have it all. So there's no need for lack, no need for worry. You have everything available to create and or co-create new opportunities, new routines, etc. This in itself is such a divinely interconnected, resourceful, and sourceful energy. That the universe has got your back right now. The universe has got your back, and this is something that you can trust. Okay, so you're learning. Okay, you're learning. You're learning. Okay. So, so with so much available and so much offered, you're being asked to hold a lot of compassion for yourself for expansion. And here's why. It can feel like a lot. I do believe that at some level, here's what I'm kind of seeing or sensing from this. This is kind of like when you get to that moment when you can do anything and become anything, there's one level that's excited, right? But then there's one level when, if we still have any form of fear running in the central nervous system, excitement can manifest as worry or concern. This is why the universe is saying choose the most loving option, choose from the place of love, and you're going to be okay. And I do just feel like it's because we're still getting out of older cycles here. Let's see. How do we do this? How do we do this? How do we do this? Hey, is this right? Yeah. Look at that. We're figuring it out. We're upside down and inside out. It's okay. All right. So with so much opportunity and sourceful connection, there's a lot of us that can kind of start to do kind of like the inner study or the inner research over where we go from here, right? I feel like one part is review. One part is recognizing, though, that when you come from the loving space, when you choose from love, when you choose to see beyond the illusion, right, and step into that loving space, the more we no longer allowed our own veil or facade to kind of snag us any longer. This is like allowing the briar patch to clear because loving waters are ahead. Okay. So the universe is saying, whatever you're doing, it's time for you to step forward now. It's time for you to rise up. It's time for you to rise to the occasion. Obviously, this is like, don't let the potholes, right? Like flatten the tire permanently. Keep rising up, especially if things feel like they're very stop start, like you start, you start, you stop, you start. It might feel like there's been a lot of obstacles, a lot of things that have gotten in the way. This is why holding the loving ground assists you in being able to dissolve these obstacles, because you have so much available for you to do, so much that you can work with. um it is like a lot of this feels like for self that in the past you might have had really, really wonderful opportunities to do things. And sometimes those things didn't work out. Perhaps you're shying away a little bit. Perhaps, you're concerned about something getting in the way. You're concerned about an obstacle. This is you being able to stay unmovable or unswayable in your journey and knowing what the heart field holds in regards to resilience, and especially in the waves of oscillation that occur throughout the universe. There's something about holding like the loving ground or holding the loving master, holding a lot of compassion for your experience that's going to give you an opportunity to understand what it is you're truly creating. Create from the loving space and keep rising up. No matter what is going on, keep rising up. So this is definitely, this is just one of those things that's gifting you an opportunity right now to be your own inner guide, especially if you don't know which way to turn or there's a lot of options. I do feel like at some level, if you've allowed your own illusion to get in the way, now's the time to dissolve that and to get really real with yourself and to just hold the loving ground for who you are and what you're here to accomplish. This is kind of stating that dreams can come true and dreams aren't just illusions. So we have a lot of discussion about the dream, right? And the dream being Maya. Oh, it's just an illusion. Well, but if we are in full control of that dream and we are the universe learning about itself again, then how do we dream a new dream? Dream a new dream. Dream one that isn't the word coming through is mistaken or distractible, but the one that is really centered and focused, right? And can also dive in a little bit, right? To be able to get very clear on what it wants to go through. If you see the King of Cups is leading with his foot forward, he's not afraid of the waters. He's not afraid of his emotions. He's not afraid of learning about himself. A part of this is to be a very well-rounded magician in your journey. You got to know your shadows. You got to know your closet. You got to know who you are. So with knowing and awareness to be this really beautiful creator, to be this beautiful creative result, to really be this beautiful magic, you got to know yourself. So one level two is, as you're going about your day to day, reflect on the things that get in the way. Look at your own obstacles, look at your own limitations, right? Dissolve them and come to love. A lot of this is your own state of being able to transmute at the heart level so you can get back to that Christic container. You can get back to that Christic light. You can get back to the evolutionary of your soul. You don't have to allow older emotions or stale, let's say stale gateways to let you down because expansion is inevitable. So the universe wants you to keep focusing on your heart, on your expansion, and to continue to rise up. This is the card of resilience. This is the you're gonna break through. This is the just keep going. But the star also offers a little bit of replenishment. So if you don't know what to do, right, do that loving thing, do that self-love. Get back to the drawing board, get back to the blueprint, right? Like you get back to the paint and canvas, get back to the bare essentials. The thing is that there's a reminder here that you can, but there are things that especially prospectively as we're walking and we're feeling like we're walking cautiously, not carelessly, it's because we want to make sure we're making the right decisions. Well, right and wrong is still very dualized, right? It is something that is still very much so born of that dualism. But the thing is when we're in refinement periods and we're learning about ourselves, we're learning about our new beginnings, we're learning about our new experience, we're learning about our new creations. There's this level of softening, right? Softening and really loving who we are within the new journey, within the new expression, within the new experience. So we don't allow these things to get in the way. A lot of this is giving you the opportunity to get the smoke and mirrors out of your own experience, right? As you're learning about these things and really like getting into that space of clarity and getting into a place of really big spiritual clarity and spiritual maturity in your journey. Another factor here is making sure that you're getting your energy right in your day to day, right? The magician isn't just always about the groundwork, the day to day, right? His whole building, his whole, working with the sacred architecture of source has to do with where his energy is at. So there's an opportunity to really like study and to look at where your energy is at when you're doing what you're doing, when you're going about your day and what you're building. Take a moment to get your heart ready, to get your heart aligned, and get yourself in an aligned space. So when you're going, you're not going to be making those same mistakes. This is about getting very clear in your mind, body, and soul overall, especially with what is to come in your own journey. All right. Final word here. Oh, wow. There we go. There we go. All right, Queen of Cups. Another card of compassion. Love is the journey moving forward. Love is the way. So this is just a reminder to all of us that love is what lights the way. Love is what guides. The thing here is about holding the loving perception, especially when you look at yourself, when you look at the reality, and when you look at the universe, right? So we can come from, if we are creators of our own reality, we can come from loving universes and unloving universes. That's dualism, right? There's something about coming from the loving place that gives you an opportunity to evolve and to recognize what's going on beyond the veil. I do feel like there is a lot of very beautiful energies that are surrounding us and supporting us right now in the journey. The thing is that I do believe a lot is coming to the surface as the energies are closing in. I do feel like this would come through a lot as the energy of our guides coming through, our spirit team showing up. And when our spirit team shows up, perhaps in the past, you've dealt with trickster energy, you've dealt with energy that has been deceptive or getting in the way. It feels like this is something that is bringing up a lot right now, and it might also be making you feel vulnerable. That's okay. It's essentially, a lot of this is we're getting to the essence of our experience, right? We're getting to the essence of our soul. We're getting to the essence of our plasmas, to our liquid light, right? And that vulnerability is exposing us to a lot of new experiences, but it's also exposing us to a lot of power. So let's make sure that when the disempowerment comes in the way, or that thing that seems to like block or distract, that we're aware of it so we can dissolve it and we can get back into a space of our own internal mastery. Now, mastery isn't built upon a book and or a study. It's just knowing yourself at such a deep level, at such a deep creator level, that you're no longer baffled or fooled, right, by the illusions of older magicians, and rather you are well adept at a creator level to know who you are, to know where you stand within this experience, and where you're at in your own journey moving forward. And so a part of this self-reflective is gifting yourself an opportunity to cleanse, right, your life, to cleanse your perspective, to cleanse your journey, to cleanse your way, right? So you can very much so, it feels like when we get the clutter out of the way, you're going to hold a very much so a healthier throne in your journey, holding a lot more of a loving perspective. And this clarity is going to open up a lot bigger of a container for you. So this is a time to kind of declutter, to refresh, to cleanse, right? And to rise up, to keep emerging new, and to emerge strong, and to emerge as love. All right. Love you guys. Much love, respect to all of you out there. Thank you again for like, shares, and subscribes. Hope this assisted. And with that, I'll see you soon. Namaste.